before others join, Raj, I think, have you joined yesterday's session? Guys, am I audible to you?
Yes, Deepak, you are audible.
Thanks for confirming.
Hello? Yeah,
Yeah, I can also hear you, Namdev.
yeah.
Okay, guys, welcome again for the second demo class. Let's get started. Meanwhile, others will join. But before I'll start, anyone who is joining the class for the first time and who has not joined yesterday's demo session?
Yeah, hi, Venkat this side.
Hi, Venkat.
Hello. Yeah, I have seen your yesterday video. So, in fact, it's my office starting time, though, so I'll be in travel, but that is the reason I didn't join yesterday. So,
Okay.
as everyone other participants, I am also from low code, no code industry. I'm a low code, no code
Mm-hmm.
architect, almost
Mm-hmm.
13 years of experience, and I'm a certified
Okay.
Pega architect. Currently, I'm working with Camunda, Pega to Camunda migration project. And I'm
Okay.
aware of Pega, but I'm from zero coding background. I don't know any coding background. I don't have any coding knowledge. I joined here
Mm-hmm.
to learn to get started with coding practice. Otherwise, I'm good with Camunda modular processes and task list, all those things. But from the backend perspective, I have zero knowledge. That is what about me.
Welcome on board, Venkita, and great to know that you already have low code, no code experience, but have never tried hands-on on the coding part. And I think, as I mentioned very briefly yesterday's as well, it's good that if you have at least knowledge of reviewing the code, but nowadays there are many multiple tools are there which generates such
Yeah,
kind of
I
custom
agree.
code.
I
Yeah.
agree with you. I on day-to-day basis as an architect, I build so many POCs and I use so many websites, Cursors, Bolt, Robo, Replit, whatever you call it. So I use all the AI tools.
Awesome. Awesome. Great. Then, yeah,
And
this training will
I just
enable.
have one question or request kind of thing. So I'm looking forward to certification as well, Command certification. I thought of asking that
Mhm.
question here when I start. So after completing this course, where can I stand? Provided I follow your class regularly, even if I don't attend also, I practice all the assignments, completing, go through it. So will you be able to help us with certification?
Surely. After the course, we also help candidates with some interview questions and few tips around doing the certification. Though working on any Camunda project, just for the information of everyone, like there are different type of low-code tools. Like if you need to work on any project which requires certain skill of that particular product, such as like Pega, it is mandatory at times that you should be certified on that product. However, this is not a case with Camunda. Here, if you need to work on any Camunda related project, it is not mandatory, but always good to have thing to do the certification. How we can do the certification? What are the steps around it? I will share the details, okay, for those candidates or maybe for everyone. And after that, if you have a desire and you would like to enroll for it, definitely you can enroll. But there are different type of certifications as well for Camunda basic and modeling. Whatever we discuss, right, it will be covered with that. But how to enroll, what are the steps, that all details I will share.
Sure.
Surely. Anybody else who is joining for the first time today and have not joined yesterday? Okay, I'll take it as no. With that, let's start discussing about the next steps and the topics we have. And before I'll start, I will give that opportunity to everyone if you have any kind of questions before I'll start for the day. It can be anything. Okay, so I'll take it as no, and I'll share my screen then. First of all, please confirm if all of you have done the registration with the free trial version of Camunda. Maybe raise your hand or ping in the comment chat if you have not done that. But I'm expecting this was a bare minimum activity which requires hardly 2 to 3 minutes, and that has been asked yesterday. So you all should have done the registration. So once you have done the registration, it should look like this, right? Yesterday it was showing 30 calendar days pending, right? Now it is showing 29 days. And that's how we can utilize this platform for next remaining days. If it gets expired, you can still register for the with the new email address, and whatever you develop as a modeler, it will not go away. Still, you can download them after 30 days as well. All right. One of the question was like few people have gone through certain type of learnings, maybe online tutorial courses or somewhere else, but then at times they are happy with that content, sometimes they are not. Okay. And that is where we always believe in sticking with the timelines, the content, at least what we promise. Okay. Obviously, it's a long training where we have a lot of questions, and at times there might be additional things, right? We can add or we will also discuss. But the point here is whatever we promise, all these topics should be discussed well in advance. And that is where we have this TOC. I hope everybody has gone through with TOC, topic of contents, which we are going to cover. And that's a baseline. Okay. We agree on these terms. Okay. So all these things, right, we will be covering with detail, and also wherever possible. Okay. All these things we will be doing with the physical practical exercises as well, by trying our hands dirty on Camunda modeler, as well as at times on back-end coding as well, whenever there is an integration needed. So that's where we have these topics. I'll just go through on a high level. And still, if you think something is missing, reach out to the training coordinator and try to share those things which you still would like to add here. Yes, Venkata.
So I have not received the POC that you're sharing, or maybe the Excel that you're sharing. So is that something that we get after enrolling by
I
paying,
think
or is
yes.
it?
Yes, but yeah, everybody who is enrolling will get this TOC. And Sarita, she is a training coordinator. You can reach out to her. So what we will share is this TOC, 30 days or 40 days, whatever the duration we will be having. The number of hours is there, but at times there will be some mm, delays. So we will cover all these topics in the entire training. On top of that, you will get the recordings from Harsha training, some basic interview questions on Camunda 8, and then the code. We will also develop or create some applications, right, during the class, during the learning. But it will be there for you to also practice. But at times, right, when time pass, we discuss so many things. We often try to what you can say, forget about how it has been done. Maybe there are some small configurations. So for that, I will also share the backend Git code as well, where you can at least have the reference of all that code and the applications we create. So apart from the PPT material, you will get all these things as well. But yeah, nevertheless, we will go through with these topics. Like as I mentioned yesterday as well, this will be a class where I will treat everyone on level 0, and we start from very basics. We'll have at least an understanding about what is actually a BPM. Many students who have enrolled have already worked on certain BPM tools, mostly Pega or APN, or at times like Cordis or some other BPM tools as well. But then to this Camunda is also one of the BPM tool. We will have a basic understanding starting with level 0 to understand what is object management group, what are the BPM basics, their disciplines. Then if you see here, we will discuss about different BPM and elements, which includes flow objects, connecting objects, swim lanes, artifacts. And when we discuss these things, specifically the flow objects, right, which involves the events, activities, and gateways, which is a core of the modeling of any low-code application using BPMN. We will discuss in detail about events. What are start and intermediate events? What are boundary events? What are interrupting, non-interrupting? All these things. Same thing will go with the activities. What are the difference between events and activities? And even within activities, people use similar kind of activity for same purpose. Then we discuss about the best practices around it. So what is recommended by the BPMN, right, or object management group. Then gateways, also some traps and are around the gateways. What are the best practices to use them, and so on. We will discuss everything in detail. And when we are discussing them, we will also create some practical, what you can say, uh, exercises as well. We create them, we deploy them, we debug them. And that is where when we start keep on doing that, we will get familiarized more and more with this particular tool, which is the need of this training. Okay, so like here where you should go for modeling. Okay, if you model, what are the configuration, how you will start first time, it might be pretty much challenging to understand everything, but when we do it often every day for number of weeks, it will be, you will be like a pro for at least these kind of activities to get familiarized with tool. Let's say we do something for human task. Okay, we do something for HTTP task. Okay, we do something for service task. We write some scripting, we create some forms for the user interaction, we deploy them. When we deploy, we will see if there is a user task where we should go, how we can check the process details, if there are some errors or exceptions, how we can check those exceptions, how we can fix them from the modeling perspective, from backend side as well. So all these things, when we discuss in detail about these topics, okay, we discuss and then we also implement. So there are two benefits which I see when we do that. We have our basic things clear, and also whenever we discuss, let's say anything which is on an intermediate level, right? And let's say I have not discussed anything about the basic things. Few students, right, who are not aware of that or maybe would have forget about the basic things, they usually then raise their hands. What is this topic is? What, let's say, what is the difference between a service task and then a script task then? Okay, I will start using it without introducing them. So such kind of queries will not be there. And we know already we have covered them as a base, as a fundamental. Then we will continue on intermediate and then some expert level of elements. So that's where understanding BPM process management is very important. We will discuss about all the BPM and objects. Then case management modeling notation is a separate, what you can say, bucket altogether. Very important, very critical, but it's not there in Camunda 8. However, I will take you through with the case management modeling notation in fundamental in some basic tips. Not sure because many other products also does not support it. Camunda 7 was supporting it. So at times there is a requirement when there are some migration projects from Camunda 7 to Camunda 8. Or maybe for timing, you need to work on Camunda 7. And also it's very good and powerful low-code terminology, which is uh, very helpful when you design very complex cases, okay, or workflows. So we'll see what is case management modeling notation in nutshell. If you have interest, maybe I can show you one of the use case in Camunda 7 or any other BPM product as well, which supports case management modeling notation, but it depends upon the interest. Though it was a core part of Camunda 7 training, not in Camunda 8, but we'll touch base on that. Then DMN, which is decision modeling notation and their benefits, very important for writing the business rules. So we will again go through with the DMN in detail with all type of hit policies we have, right? And what are the core components around it? So we have single hit policies, we have multiple hit policies, okay? What are the single hit policies, different types? What are the different multiple hit policies? That we will not only discuss, we will try to get a detail about what are the differentiation, when to use which hit policies, and then for each hit policy, we will create one practical, what you can say, exercise as well. We'll do it, deploy it, and try to see uh, how it behaves when we create them.
Sorry.
The
Sorry,
point
Prasad.
here is, yes, Prasad.
Sorry. So are you
Please,
saying that we don't discuss about the case management here?
I'm saying we will discuss about the case management here, okay? Like,
Okay.
so I will discuss about, and even when we discuss about the basic things about and the three terminologies which is offered by object management group, case management will we cannot uh, get away with that. Okay, we should discuss that. On top of that, I'll take you through with the basics of case management modeling notation, maybe one or two sessions. However, case management modeling notation is not being supported in Camunda 8. It is discontinued, okay, due to the ZB architecture. So it's usually in Camunda 8 trainings, it is not included, but we will discuss.
So does it mean Camunda A does not support case management, or I didn't get that point? So
Yes, that's true. Camunda 8 does not support case management modeling notation.
So, Deepak, tell me one thing, like consider if we need to implement complex business process, okay, and we have Camunda 8 in our company. So we need to
Mhm.
use BPMN to implement that, right? We cannot use case management because we cannot
That's
run
correct.
two instance of Camunda 7 and 8 both, right?
Absolutely right. So yes, because it's not supported, okay, so you cannot use it. There will not be an option in your modeler to create any case management. Okay. So, and that's where when you do the training, you will get to understand about the product, terminologies, features, what is there in Camunda 8, what is not in Camunda 7. Let's say tomorrow, if you go for any discussions within your company or outside company, somebody will ask how you will do the case management modeling notation in Camunda 8. You will start saying something because you might be knowing what is case management. And then person will directly definitely understand this guy has not worked on the Camunda 8 because Camunda 8 doesn't support case management modeling notation. However, it was getting supported in Camunda 7, so we will have a discussion around that.
so
Yeah,
so
Deepak,
the
just wanted to
you
know.
mean like you cannot build case management within Camunda 8, but you have to use BPMN to build the case management and import, or we cannot build any case management application at all within Camunda 8. That point I'm a little bit
So
confused.
that is something we will discuss in detail. Okay. What is case management? What is process management? Okay. What are the differences? What are the counterparts parts? And see, if a company like Camunda has discontinued it, right? There might be definitely a workaround for it, right? It cannot be done
Okay.
without having some mitigation steps. So what
Mm.
are that? We will discuss about that.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, Deepak.
Okay.
Hello.
Yes, Namdev.
Yeah, actually, whether this DMN is the alternative for CMN, that's case management.
No, that's why when I'll say about discussing details or things from basic, right? We will discuss about the core concepts about BPM and CMMN and DMN, everything. Okay.
Okay.
How BPMN is different with the case management. So that is going to be part of that. But what I'm
Okay.
trying to say here is I'm giving you an idea of the topics,
Mhm.
right? On a high
Right.
level, which is, I believe, very important for every candidate to understand what we are going to discuss, how we are going to discuss, and what are the benefits around it. Definitely in one session, I cannot go in detail because that is something we are going to discuss in the next subsequent days. Okay. But it will give you
Mhm.
a very good understanding. And if I will be enrolling for any course, first thing what I will look into is the TOC, right?
Right. Yeah.
Okay. And yesterday also, that's why I've asked if you have, what are your expectations with this training? Okay. In your introduction part, many people have also mentioned what they are doing, what is the tool, and why they have enrolled it. Okay. So when we discuss about the TOC, right, in general, this is too much things. But then even if you think about it, right, if you are focused, okay, at least if you join all the sessions, and whenever I'll say, right, practice something, maybe it will take half an hour, but this is very general and fundamental. If you don't try by your own, uh, I don't think any trainer or any material in this world is going to help. You also have to put at least 5% or 10% of additional efforts apart from joining the classes regularly. Okay. But yeah, we understand sometimes people will have some problems with some office work, as everybody is a working individual. So we provide the recordings, okay, from Harsha training. That's why. But at least if you miss the class, go through with the concepts. I'm here to explain and share my knowledge, but then you have to be also proactive on these things. And yeah, this is again not everything what we have Camunda. What it will help you guys, everybody has worked on IT. Everybody has worked on some low code products. Okay. This training will enable you to get some knowledge. Okay. As a starter package to work on any Camunda application. That's what you should be expecting from this training. Okay. This is again not a consulting training where we can come with some, let's say, I need to design this thing. We can do that, but that's a training program which accelerates your learning. Okay. And you get familiarized with this product and tool to get going and start working. Already low code tools are, I think you all have worked on low code tools. So you don't need a heavy lifting of technical things. Okay. What you need is understanding the fundamentals, concepts, and get familiar with this tool, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so next is overview of common BPM products and their usage. Yeah, we'll discuss about what are the different products are there. But as I mentioned yesterday as well, if you work on Camunda 8, okay, you almost get a knowledge of Camunda 7 as well in nutshell. But there are different other BPM tools are which are pretty much similar, okay, with Camunda, okay. And even if you get an opportunity to work on that tool, it will be pretty easy for you, such as flowable or activity. Okay. And just as an example. Then, yeah, the notations, overview, benefits, and use cases. So let's start with that. Maybe a very general question, but what is workflow? Okay. What is why you use BPM? And we often use this terminology, right? We will design the workflows. What do you mean by a workflow? Anybody can give that answer, maybe right or wrong, but what is your understanding on that?
Maybe an approval process.
Maybe an approval process. Yes, maybe is the right word. Anybody else who would like to give a try?
Series of steps followed to achieve an objective.
Very good. So far, so good.
Yeah, from the definition itself, it is saying a workflow. The work that we are doing in a step-by-step process, as just now explained. The sequential process, start to ending, in between decisions. So in a definition way, I can say the step-by-step process of what is the work we are going to do. That is called as workflow, the diagrammatic view.
Perfect. So it can be simple, it can be complex, right? And that's where, right, understanding of this BPM and process management, right? We will see, okay, after we like going through all these concepts, right? That's why there are two terminologies provided by the OMG, okay, object management. Not sure how many people are aware of that terminology as well, object management group, but surely just after the first class, you will be having very good knowledge about object management group is what is it is all about, because that is something always a first slide from me to give a knowledge about this technology, because you are working maybe from years, okay? You should know at least what are these standards and notations. Like Java is a technology or programming language. Similarly, BPMN is also a standard and a notation. But who is owning it? Okay, who is providing the recommendations? Okay, that is a object management group. So now, whenever we create a workflow, there are two possibilities which object management has group has provided. It can be BPMN or it can be CMMN or can be a mix of both. Right? What it will do is it will help you to create or to automate your business problems in a for might be structured or might be unstructured to get a business outcome from it. Okay, you have a problem, you create a workflow which is a sequence of steps. Okay, uh, as rightly mentioned, we start from a beginning, which means there will be a start, there will be end. So once you comes to an end, what you will do is you will get a business outcome of it. Maybe an approval process somebody has mentioned, right? So what it will do, again, we can think about it of a workflow where we start a approval process maybe by sending some notifications to the required stakeholders. For sending notifications, we do a couple of things, right? Use some kind of low code notations or write program, whatever. A different business problems again, because it's very generic. Implementation wise, it can be different, but to assume we will use some building blocks to send notification. It will be there with the stakeholders. Then we will get the approval. Once the approval is done, maybe it can be approved, it can be rejected, but we get the outcome. So that's what the workflow is. We started a process, we completed a process or workflow, and then we get the business outcome of it. So when you develop them, depending upon the use case, okay, there is a terminology called BPMN and CMMN. We will discuss when to use what, and then they are also a counterpart. Note this term as well, which is going to be very important. Maybe people who don't even join. Whatever we develop using BPMN, right? We can also develop with the CMMN and vice versa. It's a very powerful statement, contradictory as well, but that's how what the truth is. The next question comes when we can do that, right? Something which can be developed using BPMN, we can develop with the CMMN and vice versa. Then why these two different terminologies are there? That is something we will discuss. Okay, but the point here is whatever you can create using case management modeling notation, same case you can also develop using BPMN. And that is where, yeah, even in Camunda 8, if case management modeling notation has been discontinued, there are recommendations when you migrate your processes or applications from Camunda 7 to Camunda 8, what you need to do. Okay, so after that, we will discuss about the Camunda architecture. We will discuss about the architecture for 7 and 8 both, so that the idea here is when you hear about the different terminologies, right, in the Camunda 7 and Camunda 8, maybe few terminologies are different as well, though the purpose is same, but then you understand what are the different core components which is provided by the product, how they will interact with each other. So Camunda 8 is a big release from 7 to 8. So there is a phenomenal restructuring of the architecture. That's why there is an introduction of ZB as well. So we'll see in detail what is the architecture, what are the different components. And also we will discuss about Camunda 7 architecture as well. Then integration and configuration. So how you can use the trial version. Okay. Then even if we say about the trial version or the installation, there are multiple ways of doing it. As you might be knowing it, we will be using Camunda 8 service as a software, which is SaaS version for our learning, which is like only available in Camunda 8, was not a part of Camunda 7. So what is Camunda 8 as a AAS? It's a cloud native process orchestration platform, which is managed by Camunda itself, which means usually you buy a product, right, for development or for modeling your application, a classical use case. However, if you go ahead in Camunda 8 with the SaaS version, which means all the hardware and infrastructure is also being managed by the product. You do not need any installation requirement. Everything will be taken care by product. And then it provides the web-based tools for modeling, deployment, monitoring, and everything. Okay. But in self-managed, you can buy the license. Okay. Will come with that. What is license? So, Camunda is also comes with the open source. What is trial version? When you work in the uh, real projects, right? How you can deploy them. Okay. Setup of the Camunda BPM as a microservice. Okay. How you can build a microservice. That's what we will learn in these things, right? How you can deploy them, how you can create them for Camunda 8, and maybe if we get time, I will also give you a very basic knowledge about Camunda 7 application as well. How you can create, what are the different components you need for creating a Spring Boot application, which is a microservice. You can deploy them. What are the dependencies which you need for Camunda 7 and Camunda 8. Okay. And then when we talk about the Camunda 8, we will create this application from the scratch. You will also get the code. And after that, we will write some APIs. Uh, there are thousands of APIs. Okay. But we'll try to use few APIs, which is basic to trigger a particular model, which we develop to complete a particular task, to get some other details. Okay. So that you will get fundamental understanding how a Spring Boot application will interact with your deployed processes. Second thing is we write some very basic ZB code as well, or the service methods, which we will be using in our model whenever we are using service tasks. So that's how we will also touch base about the setup of a Spring Boot microservice and integrating them with our workflows. Process modeling, of course, yes. Like as I mentioned in the BPMN, right, we will touch base with the activities, gateways, events, swimlanes, but then we'll go about learning them deep. Okay, what is sub process? What is call activity? What is a reusability concept? When to use what? And then handling the exceptions if exceptions are coming from your service task or HTTP task, how you can handle them gracefully within your workflows. Then process execution, which means once we create any application, we also debug them without even deploying them using Camunda. Okay. And how you can do that from the modeler itself, which is a very good feature. Okay. Even without deploying, you can debug them. And then Even if you need to deploy, how you can deploy them, how you can create the clusters, how once you deploy them, where you can see the details of your deployed applications. If any task is involved, where you can go and check the task related things and you can take actions. So that is a complete life cycle of from a developer point of view to a business point of view, and then from maybe system admin's point of view, the entire life cycle, which is mostly involved understanding of how we can do that in Camunda specifically. I'm sure when you have worked on different other low-code tools, similar things you might be also doing it, maybe in Pega or Appian or Flowable or whatever. You'd create some processes, right, by using Studio. Maybe if you are web-based, you are like specific Studio applications where you design or develop your workflows, then you deploy them, right? Once you deploy them, you can also debug them, or you can also go and manage something as an admin. Or also, if there are tasks involved, you can also do the task handling as well from the business point of view. Same thing, how you can do in Camunda 8, right? And that's what you would like to learn. So in process execution, we will do that. And this is something we do it not specifically on a step, is on a particular step, but this is involved and we do it quite often, like maybe 15, 20, 25 times, I don't know. But as I mentioned, right, when we learn about the basic and fundamentals, we create applications, we deploy them, we debug them. So it's not like I'll go and take you through with these steps in a recording manner. Okay, this is what you need to do. It comes naturally, right? When you create those applications, going to a particular component, deploy them, and do it daily basis. So you will be pro with that. And then what is Camunda modeler? So here it is very, very important. Most of the time as a developer, when you've been hired for any application, you will be mostly dealing with the modeler thing, right? Modeler is something, it's a tool provided by Camunda to create your workflows. We discuss about workflow, right? So you can use BPMN or DMN to create your workflows. So we'll discuss about what are the different components are there, how you can use them, okay? What are the different options are there for the modeler, how you can also publish your application from the modeler itself, and many other things. Then decision management, as I mentioned, what are the standards, or how it is relevant with the Camunda, what is uh, field language which will be used by the Camunda, right, to give any conditions, okay? Friendly expression language. So, which is very easy. Also, there is a documentation for that. But yeah, as a non-technical person, also you can understand these are like if and else conditions, something like that. How you can model them and execute those decision tables. Even if this decision tables you create, right? These DMN tables you cannot deploy standalone. Okay, these needs to be integrated with your BPMN processes. How you can integrate them, what are again different hit policies, what does it mean by the single hit or multiple hit, when to use what. So again, if you have these concepts, right, as I mentioned yesterday, again, when you have this knowledge, it's not about the Camunda it. Definitely, you will use it in Camunda it, but that is going to be with you for other low code notations as well, right? If you are going to work on DMN in any other product as well, this is going to be helpful. How you can integrate your decision table with your processes, okay, in Camunda 8 specifically. But if you are working on any other product, let's say Camunda 7 or Flowable or who supports case management, there also you can integrate your DMN tables with your cases as well. Then discussion about the case management, understanding of case management, what is a plan item, sentries and events. Mostly, if you learn about BPM and right, what I believe is it is different case management, but still 70% of the things what you learn in BPMN, especially the events and activities, they are almost same in case management. Only the behavior and execution and life cycle of case management is completely different because there are no gateways. Okay. And that's where in BPMN you can control your workflows by using gateways. In case management, it is more powerful, more flexible. It is depending upon dynamic condition where you can model your workflows based on events, conditions, actions, right? So that gives you a more power when you need to model your complex workflows easily. Okay. Again, you can develop them using BPMN as well, but developing with the case management is more easy if you know the best practice and how you can use them. Fine. So we'll discuss about them. What are the sentries, events, other things, uh, and uh, yeah, anything which is related to the case management. Integration and APIs. Again, in now a world, and when you talk about the orchestration part, you will be integrating your workflows with multiple other systems as well. What are the ways of that? You can write your custom code, you can leverage more and more APIs. Okay, maybe you need to connect with the CRM or any ERP system or maybe any other system, right, which is uh, also having APIs related. Maybe you need to integrate with any other microservice. So, or you need to integrate with any messaging queues. So, yeah, how we can do the integration, we will discuss about them as well. Some advanced features about multi-instance concept, handling parallel executions, markers and listeners, event-based sub-processes, right? Compensation handling, what is correlation, timers, escalations, these things we will discuss as well. And there will be again some exercises around it. So it's not only about the theoretical things, but then how to use the sub processes, how to use the call activities, when to use what type of element, how you can use or leverage multi-instance behavior, right? So multi-instance, not sure how many people are aware of that, but one task, let's say, or one process you create, you can use it multiple times in parallel, right? Which has the same behavior. So you don't have to write this code again and again. There are some configurations which you can leverage, and with that, you can make those activities, right, to be executed as a multi-instance. Then multi-instance may be sequential or parallel. We will discuss about them. Error handling and troubleshooting, Camunda integration, database related things. What are the supported database? What are the basic tables around it? Often you don't have to go into the database, but it's always good if you know about the basic product tables. But yeah, mostly you get everything with the APIs. Monitoring thing, cockpit and operate. So cockpit, again, when you hear about the cockpit, it is been used in Camunda 7, but operate is a enhanced version of cockpit, or you can say rebranding of the product. So same thing what you have done in the cockpit, you can do it with the operate in Camunda 8. Okay. There is no cockpit in Camunda 8 and there is no operate in Camunda 7. It is both are same for doing some monitoring and troubleshooting of your deployed processes. Okay, being mostly used for the administrative activities. Some ad hoc things, and yeah, we will discuss some practical workflows as well when we discuss these concepts in detail, right? So we'll discuss maybe something from the banking or maybe something from healthcare, whatever domain you're interested. We will have an end-to-end use case where we'll see in real-time cases, right? How complex an application could be. But that will come naturally when you at least understand about the basics and fundamentals. Any questions, guys, so far? Do you think is that covering in a way what you are expecting to learn in this training or not?
Deepak, are we going to cover agentic orchestration as well?
Agentic orchestration is like very recently launched. Okay. But if you are interested, as of now, this is a standard TUC which we have used. Okay. And many other companies, right, they have not mm, incorporated it because everything around the agentic world is like it's a talk of the town, but people are talking about it. Many companies are releasing different tools as well, but as a company, as a standard, right, there is a lot of security and internal concerns to use those agentic terms. So if you want, we can discuss about that as well. Okay. However, in practical, it is not been used. I can cover about agentic part as well, or
Yeah, I
maybe
mean, just wanted
IT
to
part as well.
understand the use case. Like, if you want to do that, what could be the process and best way to integrate this bots?
Yeah, that we can discuss. Like then again in agentic, right? There can be agentic workflows or generative agentic
Yes. Yeah,
AI
both of
workflows.
them.
So we can
Mhm.
discuss about them as well. Not an issue.
Yeah.
What are the
Thank you,
use
Deepak.
cases?
Sure.
No worries. Good. Any other questions? I'll take it as no. And then what we can do, guys, today, as I'm expecting, I'm believing, I trust that you guys have already registered for it. So then once you have registered, right, let's discuss about the first part, which is console. So this is what you will see here. You have multiple options are there, which is like you will get to know very minor and basic thing. But then if you click on the right corner of this button, you can adjust some properties from here, and you will also get some information, what is the version, what you are using and everything. Uh, just be aware, don't click on that, okay? uh, of deleting the account. But apart from that, you can check other things as well. You can also log out from here. But important thing is, let's come to the left top corner. If you click on these dots, these 9 dots, okay? Once you click, these are the main modules of Camunda, okay, product, which means I have on a high level, I discussed about these modules in one liner yesterday, but let's start discussing them in more detail, okay, going forward. So what is console? So first of all, as you know, when you use a trial version, it is a SaaS version. So when we use the SaaS version, everything you can do it on a web-based modeling, okay? So even the modeler, you have a web-based. Just
Sorry to ask, this is my first session. So it is something like we do everything on the, uh, what I meant to say is we cannot install locally, or is it something
you
like we
can.
do? Mhm.
Yeah, Ravi, so you can also go and check the recording of yesterday. But yeah, even what are the different ways of using Camunda, right? 8, when we discuss about the architecture part, when we discuss about the deployment part, I will go in detail what are the different ways of using Camunda 8, okay, in terms of the infrastructure point of view. But to give make it very generic and short, in Camunda 8, basically, okay, in Camunda 8, we have two types of infrastructure. One is SaaS and second is self-managed. Okay. So what we are doing is SaaS is like it has all the licensing and everything, but on top of that, the infrastructure is also being managed by the product. Okay. So you don't need to even think about of the infrastructure of deploying your applications, managing your pods, okay, or virtual machines. Everything has been taken care. That's what we are using it. But in self-managed, right, you get the license. Okay. Once you get the license, just use that license in your applications to develop your Camunda related application. But then how you host them, how you will deploy them, again, you need to manage your infrastructure like in any other application. Okay.
Okay.
So that's how it is. So what we are doing is we are using SaaS version. So if you go to the console, first thing what you will notice is dashboard, right? Where you can see some specific details, you can see some guide as well, some useful demo parts. But let's move to the cluster part. Here I have created a cluster just yesterday, right? But then if you need to create a cluster, let's say if I'll delete this for now, don't delete often. Why I'm doing that is what you will see in at your end. Okay. So this is what you will see when you log in and you have not done anything. So what you are uh, been you will be having this option to create a new cluster, which means create your cluster where your applications will be hosted, where you will be deploying it. It will give you a cluster option. You can give any name. Okay. Then it will be a trial cluster with more and more advancements. Now it is coming with some tags as well. You can see this information. I'm not going to uh, repeat all these things, but because everything is already been mentioned, and you will be also aware of that. What is development, what is testing, what is stage, and what is production. Okay. So depending
Yes.
upon that tag, by default, right? If you it is development, which means if you're not using it for certain hours, okay, which is mentioned here, application will be paused. Okay, you can restart as well just to save the costing because it's been hosted. You are provided a trial version, so Camunda as a product will also understand at times you might not be using it. So if you are not using it, they don't delete, but it will pause that application or that cluster. Now there are options to use alpha and stable. So uh, as a product, right, they will have a release. Let's say you have Camunda 8. So release will be something like that. 8 is a product main version. Then there will be a release something like major release, which means like dot 6 or dot 5, dot 4. So it start with 8.0. Now over the period of time it comes, I think latest is 8.6 or 8.7. And after that there will be service pack numbers, maybe 8.6.2, 8.6.3. Why I'm saying this is every year Camunda will have two major release. What is major release? Which comes after 8, okay? Point 0, point 1, point 2, point 3, something like that in summer and in December. But on top of that, there will be also some service packs, some bug fixes, which comes quite often, maybe every month or sometimes twice in a month, sometimes once in a 2 month. These are called as service packs or minor releases. So whenever they work on the on those releases, okay, internally there will be some like product team members, and there are some specific customers for them they will also release. That is known as alpha release, which means the latest to latest thing what you can use, what you can see as a feature. But alpha means these are still like they are just half cooked, which means they are just developed but not fully tested by the product. You don't have a green signal from the product to use them for the production applications. Okay, if you're doing it, it is not recommended, it is a risk. But yeah, we are learning here, right? So there is an option in the trial version. You can also use alpha, or maybe you can go with the stable release. That's what you can see here, right? There are different releases are there: 8.7, 8.6, 8.5, 8.4, right? And on top of that, then 8.75, which means minor release, or whatever version you would like to use. You can use up to last four uh, stable releases. Okay, these are the major releases. You cannot use, or it is not provided like 8.0 or 8.1, which is like almost 3 years ago. That's where you can select. I will recommend you can use alpha, no problem, because here it is like 8.8.0, right? Again, at least you will be aware what is alpha, what is stable, right? Alpha is something which you can use for the trial purpose, for the testing, for the development, and stable is something which is all approved, okay, recommended by the product as a latest release. Now you can select them. I'm going ahead with the alpha one. Then you can select some region which is now recently introduced. Like few months ago, there is only a GCP, but now they have also given an option which AWS you would like to use, but it is absolutely free. You can select depending upon your a preference and try to select a region which is close to your physical location, and that's it. Once you do that, click on create cluster. It will take couple of minutes and it will create a machine for you, okay, which will be available for you to use it for your modeling, for your deployments as well. So you see here, right? I have given a name, which type of release. It's a trial cluster, okay. And yeah, in a trial version, you can only create one cluster, but if you are having a licensed, okay, version, you can create multiple clusters as well. But product understand it is just for a learning. That's where you see when I have created one cluster, I have deleted it, and now again I am creating it. I cannot create multiple clusters. So it will take a little time, maybe a minute or so. Guys, you can also do that. It is very important. And that is the very first and basic step. Otherwise, let's say if you are using self-managed one, you don't have to do that, but then you will be requiring it your some maybe. Yes, Utkarsh.
Um, Deepak, like if we want to create an HS setup, then also this cluster will take it automatically, or we need to modify something or configure something for multiple
Uh,
nodes.
Sorry, come back again, Utkarsh.
I'm asking like if I want a production server to be in a HS setup, okay, high availability,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
then do I need to configure something in the SaaS version?
Actually, it depends what type of workflow you are doing. Okay, when you do HA setup, right? So there is a lot of configurations are there from the product, right? It will give you a basic configuration and with the default values, but depending upon what type of applications you are using, maybe it's a very high transaction, maybe application which is using more documents, okay, which consume more memory, okay, depending upon, let's say, you are having more integrations and those integrations, right, more asynchronous based, depending upon what type of application you have, you can configure them, right? Again, as I mentioned, it's a toolbox, so it has a lot of tools. What you would like to do, there is a documentation around it and you can go and change them, okay. They come or they give you the default settings, okay, but still it's not like hard coded. If you would like to change them, that is just an application YAML. You go and change them.
Okay, so I mean, for different regions, we can maintain different YAML files, or if that is a common YAML file for all the regions.
So if you are doing with the self-managed way, right, then it's up to you, okay, how you are deploying it. It's all like we are not going to discuss very much in detail about only out the about the CI/CD and deployment things, okay. Main and core part is how you can do the development, okay, how you can deploy them. It is one of the part, but then if let's say you are using it SaaS based, which is like high availability or whatever, all these things, right, will be managed by the product in the SaaS version. You don't have to worry
Mm.
about it.
Okay, understood.
And
But in
during region
self-managed,
selection, I see AWS and GCP. What exactly it means? They are cloud, right?
yes. So when you're deploying, right, you're deploying on a region, right, on a cloud region.
So means it will deploy in that selected cloud?
Yes.
Okay.
It doesn't support Azure for the moment.
At the moment, yeah, by default, no, but you can create your own like application in the self-managed and you can deploy on the Azure cloud with the help
But for
charts and
SaaS, it's AWS and GCP only, right?
yes, they have chosen what is best for them. Okay. And they, as I mentioned, right, when you use the SaaS based, which means you are paying more for that. and they take the responsibility of high availability, maintaining the uptime. Everything is SLA based, everything is contract based. So they see what is best for them. You don't have to worry at all about the uptime, what technology they are using. Only it's pure business model, right? All the infrastructure
Yeah.
related things are up to them.
Yeah. Clear.
Okay, so now you see, right? We have this as a healthy status, right? Which means your application is or your cluster is created. You can click on that and you can see different components, which is part of that cluster are up and running. What are these APIs? What are connectors, alerts, activities, backup settings? We'll discuss about them. This is very important, okay? API part, because that is something which you will be using it when you are configuring, when you would like to integrate your Spring Boot application, right? With your models, you create some secrets or APIs and you can use them. So we'll discuss maybe in next class as well. I think for the benefit of the interest of time, let's stop for now. But before we drop off, if you guys have any questions, still maybe for another 1 or 2 minutes, I'm open for that.
May I know the class timings? Will it be the same or weekends? What will be the same?
So let's see how many students enroll. We can discuss on that part. Okay, I'm flexible on that. It can be weekend as well if more like people are not able to make it for this particular time. Okay, because of the office or whatever. I'm in a different time zone. So like earlier than 9 a.m. EST is going to be very tough for me. But still, we can discuss on that part, what time, maybe evening or morning, or maybe on the weekend, 2 hours classes, we can discuss and conclude. That's open. Otherwise, yeah, this will be a time which is also fine.
It says free version is only open for 30 days. So how do we do about if it is more than that?
Sorry.
It says free trial version is only for 30 days.
Yep. Yeah, trial versions are
So
always like valid for a specific duration. 30 days is what they will think is enough time for you to explore. They are giving it just to explore the capabilities. So after 30 days, you can't use it. But if you need to use it in your applications, right, forever, then instead of enterprise, you can use the open source or community version.
okay. We can migrate to that if we create an account, or should we directly create an account? Open source.
Open source is like we'll discuss about that. What is open source? How you can use it? There is like because it's enterprise, right? You see very intuitive, very user friendly, right?
Okay.
More options are there, but open source is very basic, okay? Which is uh, like if you would like to do the modeling and other things, right? Everything you need to manage, even the UIs and everything are not that much intuitive as compared to the enterprise. And that's why, right, open source is also part of their marketing as well. You use those tools, and but if you like it, then go ahead and purchase the enterprise version. That's the business model.
So how much
But
enterprise version cost if I take for my practice? Is it advisable?
For that, it differs actually, like number of resources, number of components, and number of users who are going to use FTs. So many factors are involved, and for that, maybe it's better you can reach out to the marketing or sales team with them. They will give you the exact numbers and answers. There are different SLAs with the product team as well, gold, silver, platinum, right? How would, like, if you would like to also get the run management or the support from the product in case you have problems, right? Depending upon your agreement, right? Or your purchase, there are different levels. What is the response and resolution time from the product in case if you have queries? How many users are there to create those tickets? There are some portals. So all these things or factors are involved to get the final pricing. And yeah, if you take a contract for 1 year or 3 years, 5 years, it
I'm
varies.
just asking for training purpose, training purpose only. What should we do after 30 days if it, just for that one?
So after 30 days, I repeated multiple times, you can also register with the new email address. But whatever work you have, you can download still.
Okay, fine.
Design part will be there, but cluster will not be available after 30 days. You can still log in, you can still see what you have developed, okay? And you can download or export your files, whatever you develop, but you cannot use the cluster. For that, usually, most easy way is you can create a new account with new email address.
Yeah, Deepak, the exported
Hi,
content
I have one
can
question.
be imported. Hello. Hello, Deepak.
Guys, one by one, please.
Deepak Namdev here.
Yes.
Can we import that exported content in another account? Suppose
Yes.
if we have oh, good,
Yes, yes.
good. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, hi Deepak. I have one question. SaaS means we need to pay, right? But in self-managed, do we need to pay to the
Yeah, so
Camunda?
it's self-managed enterprise version, which means you need to pay for the license. But in SaaS way, you need to pay for the license as well as for the infrastructure.
Okay, it means how we can say it's open source then?
Open
Is
source is
it
a
open source
different thing,
Camunda?
which is like not this one. Maybe in one of the class we will go through with that. Open source. What is open source? Open source, which means you can use freely, right? Community version. So when you use an open source, okay, Camunda is also come up with an open source, and mostly all the BPM tools which are community version, uh, they also have an enterprise version. So which means there is a difference between open source and enterprise version. So when I talk about the open source, first of all, it is not available as a SaaS at all. Okay. But then what is
Okay.
there? Which means you don't even need a license file, right? Or credentials, because whatever dependencies or features what you are trying to use, there is a different type of dependencies annotation, which is start with org.camunda, which means open source. And then they have a limited features as well, like the connectors and everything what you see in the enterprise version, they won't be available in the open source. Very basic uh, architecture is available, and that too for Camunda 7.
So it
ZB
means I
is,
can say that Camunda is a paid product. Suppose
yes,
for
in
the
8 you can say
yeah,
that.
okay, got it.
Because Camunda 7 is like licensed with the Apache Tomcat, and then they have a open source as well. I will show you how you can create an application with an open source, right? Because that is what we are going to use if we are using Spring Boot applications, right? How you can do that and other things. But yeah, ZB is
Because
like
why I'm asking these questions, right? I heard that Camunda is now Camunda became more famous because of its open source, something like that. I heard as compared
so
to
you have
other
correctly,
products.
Shaukat, and it has been launched in Camunda, like is launched in 2012. It was launched as an open source over the period of time. They have done that, right? But in 2023 around, they have a Camunda 8. So still Camunda 7 is not retired. Many people are still using it. It is available. So you can also purchase a license for Camunda 7, or even if you would like to use as an open source, you can use it,
Okay,
which is
okay. Means
free.
for production also I can use without license I can use that Camunda product.
Yes, if you are
Is it?
using Camunda 7, that's what I'm saying.
Okay. Means in Camunda 8 it's license based. Okay, got it.
Yes. Okay, guys, I think we
Uh,
can wrap up for the
Deepak, just one last question. What would the duration for this course? 40 days or 45 days?
It will be around 40 days.
40 days. All right. Thank you.
Welcome. Thanks, guys. So you can reach out to the training coordinator if you have any other questions. And next class will be informed by training coordinator for the candidates who enroll. But yeah, looking forward for it. Thanks for joining and wish you good luck. Nice meeting you all. Bye-bye.